welcome back. I'm Graham, and this is, well, my library, part of it. So I have already reviewed this one, and somehow the file got deleted. So I'm going to do it again. It won't be as cool as the first one, but I'll make it a little shorter this time because last time it was like 17-minute review. It was crazy. It's totally, I'm psyched about this movie. This is great. So we have Close Encounters of the Third Kind on Laserdisc. Like a lot glare because of the plastic. Fantastic movie. So I didn't read the synopsis or I didn't read anything. I had no idea what this is about. I've never seen it. Excuse me, hiccups. Never seen this before. And so didn't know what to expect. So I put this in. This is not a horror film. Not at least from what I would say. And this is not a Halloween style movie. So, yeah. It's definitely drama, science fiction, and a little suspense. Maybe some fantasy, but barely a little bit. Okay, unless you're on the alien side of it. All right, so basically what this is about, and it's really simple. You have these alien spacecraft that come flying through, and there's a bunch of people, and I'd say probably about 12 or 13 people, that witness this. And this one guy in particular, which is what pretty much the show is about, or the movie is about, film, whatever you want to call it. He ends up getting really close contact with it, ends up getting a sunburn from it, and I guess starts getting some like psychological issues. He has this image in his head of this shape, this structure, this thing, right? And he's trying everything he can to recreate it, to try to understand it. Yes, that was a yawn, and yes, I kicked it away. And no, I'm not editing it out this time. So he builds this structure, and he builds this thing, and he doesn't understand it, doesn't know what it is, and it's driving him crazy, and everybody leaves. His wife and children, they pack up the bags, and they leave him because he's nuts. He's out of his mind. And all that does is fuels it even more. And so then he ends up building the same thing. He did it with potatoes and a bunch of other stuff too, but he ends up building a massive one in his dining room, kitchen, living room area, floor to ceiling, huge looking structure. It's just like, it's weird. And then there's also a lady, her son is abducted, and all these people that have had this encounter, they all are kind of drawn to this Air Force base. And the two that actually get there is this guy and this girl. And they actually get there because they drive right through the barriers, and they escape and they get in there. And then they witness one of the most amazing things ever. So on this Air Force base, there's like this launch pad, and there's just probably a couple hundred people, and they're all scientists or something. And there's all these lights and music, and there's these spaceships. I'm sorry, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. There's these lights and these spaceships and all this craziness that's going on. And they're playing music and all this stuff. And then all of the small little ships, they end up disappearing. In comes the big one, the mother ship, the Big Bertha, whatever you want to call it. And it opens up its door, and all these people start coming out. And they're all abducted people, primarily from the military. But the little boy shows up, and I'm not doing this review justice. I'm sorry. little boy shows up, and all these people, military primarily people, and they all get debriefed. And then all of a sudden, you see a bunch of aliens, a bunch of little people, little gray men. And they march these 12 guys out in these red suits that had the encounter. And they're all in a line wearing sunglasses. This one little alien guy walks down the row, ends up picking our guy. And he gets invited onto the ship. And yeah, we don't know a whole lot more than that, other than it's massive and it's beautiful and there's a lot of people in it, and the ship closes up and eventually takes off. And yeah, it's definitely a different movie. It's interesting. It is. I didn't see it coming. It just sideswiped me. It's a very relaxing, very intimate, very great movie. And for its time period and when this was done, which I want to say was in like 1980. Give me a minute. I'm looking. I want to say it was 1980. But I could totally be wrong here. And of course, I can never find the dang thing on them. But it could be 78, 79. They did such a fantastic job with this as far as special effects and that kind of stuff. I mean, it's absolutely amazing, amazing film. And the quality, I mean, it was almost like watching it on a Blu-ray. So the quality on Laserdiscs is, I would say probably about as good as a DVD, but it looked amazing. And this is the deluxe widescreen presentation. One of the most spectacular movies ever made. That's what it says on the back, and I would have to agree. This movie was amazing. So, all right, with that being said, and with as late as it is, I gotta go to bed. I do have to work in the morning, so I will talk to you guys later. Remember, comment, subscribe. Yeah, you know how it goes. All right, until then, bye for now.